It's presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Tano program. Cars Plus. Visit us today during Ram Truck Month. IP&E Fueling Excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, concerned Catholics of Guam react to Pope Francis declaring an all-out war on the abuse of children. Plus, the congressman's district office hits a slight snag. Chris Barnett with the latest on opening day. And senators back in session talks today as they prepare to hit the voting file this week. Hafaday and good evening. Guahusinik Delgado. Well, Pope Francis has declared an all-out war on the abuse of children and closed a landmark Vatican summit by announcing new plans to deal with the crisis of pedophile priests. The local Catholic Church has been rocked by the scandal as more than 200 victims have come forward with allegations dating back 40 years locally. Nessa Lecanto has reaction from concerned Catholics of Guam.
At the conclusion of the four-day high-level Vatican meetings, Pope Francis announced new guidelines and plans for new church law against clergy sexual misconduct. But many, like Dave Sablon, president of the Concerned Catholics group that helped expose abuse here, says he was disappointed.
I think what came out is a lot of rhetoric, same things that have been said over the past years, especially from this particular pope. But nothing of substance that says report this immediately to the police when you get it, and then conduct your own investigation if it's within the realm of canon law.
Sablon says they favor more stringent action to help deter future abuse.
No more cover-ups. No more switching, parish priests and others on a merry-go-round ride within the diocese, going from parish to parish, hoping that this thing will just, fade away, which it will not. It has affected people's lives. We have to deal with that. And so Concerned Catholics of Guam has reviewed what the Archbishop has done here, Archbishop Michael Burns, and it sets pretty good guidelines, but it needs to be more aggressive. It has to be more bite to the meat.
Sablon's group has come up with suggestions that it will present to Archbishop Burns next week. Meanwhile, they've also petitioned the Pope to ensure that former Guam Archbishop Anthony Apron never returns. Apron was found guilty of abuses last March, and a Vatican tribunal upheld the verdict in December after Apron appealed.
It is probably best for the Pope to still control him. And the best way for that is for him to just be removed from Guam and take away his title, and let him be just a plain old bishop in a house of prayer for the rest of his life.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Thanks, Ness. Well, just a couple of days away from the March opening for Congressman Michael San Nicolas' local district office, but it seems there's been a slight hiccup. Chris Barnett joins us with the latest. Chris?
District delay. Guam delegate Michael San Nicolas' district office will not open on his self-imposed Friday, March 1st deadline. In a WhatsApp released to media, Delegate San Nicolas says damage from Super Typhoon Wu-Tip will delay his district office opening until March 18th. San Nicolas is saying because of water damage to flooring and walls as a result of Typhoon Wu-Tip, the congressional office will unfortunately need to delay opening to March 18th. The district office, located on the third floor of the Seville and Tang law offices in Agotnya, KUAM News had entered the building and shot video with the blessing of attorney Pat Seville. However, after shooting video of the office, attorney Joyce Tang called the KUAM studios and said we didn't have her permission to shoot video on private property. Under advice from our legal department, we won't be showing the videos and pictures we shot. However, it should be noted that the address of San Nicolas' Guam district office is displayed on Delegate San Nicolas' official House of Representatives website. What we saw in the district office, which was previously a private condo residence, several Home Depot boxes, construction equipment and shelving, cables and wiring being installed, and some water damage in one room of the office. And what we did notice was that for an office that was supposed to open this Friday, there appeared to be very little preparation done to the office. A table sat on a decorative rug overlooking beautiful Hagåtña Bay, and the floors were marble tile. A staffer and an IT installer discussed routing wires, and workers offloaded boxes from a moving truck. One worker told us rain had leaked in one area of the office, but based on our observations, a large majority of the site appeared usable. San Nicolas in the release says to call Guam delegate hotline at 1-844-GUAM-671. As reported on KUAM News, Congressional Management Resources advise newly elected Congress members to begin preparations to open their district offices in November. San Nicolas is one of just a handful of freshman Congress members without a district office. Constituent services comprising an integral part of serving as a member of Congress, this according to former Guam delegates. While a 24-hour number was provided a couple of weeks ago, there's still no opportunity for constituents to get services face-to-face. As we reported, congressional rules also allow and are very lenient regarding the use of temporary offices, but San Nicolas refused Senator Regine Bisco-Lee's offer to use space of the legislature to service his constituents.
Thanks, Chris. Well, congressional rules also allow for the use of temporary offices. That's what Chris had just said earlier. You can find out more on KUAM.com. Well, the fate of a bill to require that bidders for the government's health insurance contract include both civilian hospitals is expected to be decided Wednesday. Discussion Tuesday centered on an amendment by Senator Regine Bisco-Lee that essentially makes the requirement effective for the current contract negotiations. But during floor debate, Vice Speaker Talina Nelson objected to the change, drawing a rebuke from the main bill sponsor, Speaker Tina Munoz-Barnes.
I cannot support completely replacing a bill through one simple amendment. I understand this is a very well-written amendment. It protects the government, but perhaps it shows some of the shortcomings of Bill 3035.
Point of personal privilege, Madam Speaker.
I was not attacking anyone, Madam Speaker. I was speaking specifically on the bill and the amendment.
Speaker Barnes, please state your point of personal privilege.
So if you're going to discredit the work that is being done by the author of the legislation, I do take a point of personal privilege because I understand the value of why we need to make sure that our government of Guam employees and their retirees should be given that option to address their medical needs and the expertise that they need for their medical conditions at both hospitals that exist here on Guam. So, point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Speaker. We'll take a 1-minute recess.
That later turned into a full recess, and senators expected to reconvene Wednesday for a vote. Guam's Republican Party is coming out strong in opposition to Bill 4. If passed, the bill would amend the property tax law to tax real property worth $1 million or more. Jerry Crisostomo is the chair of the Republican Party. He explains more.
Our party's opposition to raising taxes, that we need to rein in spending first, cut expenses, look at growing our economy before raising taxes.
Minority Leader Senator Will Castro wants to hear the bill only after the new administration proposes their financial plan in April. He believes there's a projected $13 million surplus for this fiscal year.
So the technical change is $1 million or more on improvements. So it's a tax hike, whether you change a word or not. You can't get away from the fact that it was a tax hike. That's the first thing. The second thing is 6 months has passed since the passage of that Budget Act. A lot has changed. So why are we in a rush to provide money when there's already an excess amount of cash?
During today's session, Castro objected to Senator San Augustine's motion to put that bill onto the agenda, but that measure will be heard by senators when session reconvenes. In and out of meetings, Governor Lulian Guerrero has been busy schedule off island, meeting several key officials in San Francisco, New York, and D.C. According to her office, she met with reps from Moody's and Standard & Poor's, laying out a philosophy of governance, stabilizing government finances, and collecting taxes. The governor also met with the VP Mike Pence, Homeland Security Secretary, and the Department of Interior Acting Secretary, and a Japanese delegation. She says, from my meetings with bondholders to our federal counterparts, I am sending a clear message that our administration is committed to stabilizing finances and expanding our economy. Her goal is to resolve the skilled labor shortage and, more importantly, addressing the delay in paying out war claims to members of our island's greatest generation. In the next few days, she plans to meet with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and testify at the hearing on the Senate's Committee on Energy and Natural Resources. Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
A simple handshake. That's all Jake Calvo needed when he started his company. Today, 80 years later, we like to say thank you to all of you who have taken our hand in trust. Thank you to the dreamers. Thank you to the realists. Thank you to the family-oriented. Thank you to the entrepreneurial. Thank you to those climbing the corporate ladder. And to the ones starting a new life together. Thank you to the traditionalists and the edgy. To the young at heart and the old souls. Thank you to the daring, to the protective, to the practical. Thank you to the hopeful. To all of you from all of us, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
You can make each connection count with IT&E Prepaid. Talk, text, and share with the best price daily plans and rates. Stay in touch with loved ones, whether they're in Tumon, Garapan, San Jose, or even San Paulo, on the widest network in the Marianas. And reach out to friends and followers all over the world with the fastest, most reliable 4G LTE data. IT&E, explore your world.
Here's to the flavorful, those unafraid to show their signature style, signature moves, signature everything. You add the spice that makes life interesting. So to you, we raise a sandwich as flavorful as you are, for McDonald's signature crafted recipes.
Try the new savory, creamy mushroom and Swiss burger, part of the signature crafted recipes lineup, only at McDonald's.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Oh my God, Becky, look at that crust!
At Pizza Hut, we're the ultimate cheesy crust, with 16 pockets overflowing with melted cheese.
Welcome back. Students reporting a weapon at a local middle school in Jigo caused a brief scare. FBLG Middle School and Simon Sanchez High placed on a lockdown around 1:15 this afternoon. Guam DOE spokesperson Issa Baza is saying students reported the threat of a weapon on campus at the middle school. The incident was reported to Guam police. Fortunately, no weapon was found. The all clear given about an hour later. GMH is facing a claim of negligence in the death of Asher Lubovsky. His father, David, tells KUAM that his 5-year-old son died due to incompetence and arrogance of medical professionals at GMH. The claim says his son's virus was never cultured and no doctors attended to the boy the night before he passed. GMH officials confirm they are aware of the claim but have no further comment. Now to the latest with a major drug bust in Saipan. Here's KSPN 2 News.
Half a day Guam. Here are the top headlines for CNMI.
It's actually the ongoing program for the War Against ICE. So this is a continuation of what we have been working towards and what we have been doing since 2018. So after the typhoon, we immediately jumped back in and we're starting to, follow up on all the leads and whatnot.
According to the CNMI Department of Public Safety, during the early hours of Friday, February 22, 2019, the CNMI Drug Enforcement Task Force executed a search warrant at a residence in Chinatown, where 12.8 grams of methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, digital scales, and packaging materials were discovered. having a street value of $8,960. 2 Chinese individuals were arrested at this scene: 46-year-old Ria-Ching Wang and 39-year-old Xing Ju. Each suspect has been charged with possession of controlled substance and trafficking of a controlled substance. Superior Court Judge Joseph Camacho set bail at $100,000 each. Wong has a preliminary hearing set for February 28th at 1:30 before Judge Kenneth Govindo, and an arraignment set for March 4th at 9 a.m. before presiding Judge Roberto Naraha.
The reason why we kind of crack down on this specific drug on the street is because it's becoming, it's out there and it's available almost to anybody. The last thing we want to do is see these drugs in the school system and start seeing it, with young users. We kind of want to stop it at the source. So that's the reason why we're really cracking down on on all these tips, leads, and whatnot.
Pangilinan says on the same day, the CNMI Drug Enforcement Task Force confiscated a large quantity of crystal methamphetamine, or ICE, at a second location. Friday, February 22nd, a search warrant was executed at a residence in Gairpan, where 42 grams of crystal meth was seized, having a street value of about $29,000. One Chinese individual was arrested at the scene for illegal possession of a controlled substance and alleged drug trafficking. Superior Court Judge Joseph Camacho set bail for the suspect at $100,000.
There's a lot of cases that are still being continued. As a matter of fact, there's the 2 cases over the weekend. I'm only able to disclose the information or the names of the suspects because, remember, again, they are alleged suspects, and we don't want to hamper the investigation any further. And that would not help us out in any way. Yeah.
The investigation remains ongoing by the CNMI Drug Enforcement Agency, which consists of officers from the CNMI Department of Public Safety, CNMI Division of Customs Service, and the CNMI Department of Corrections. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Crime Stoppers hotline at 234-7272 or visit the nmicrimestoppers.net. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. For more news, visit saipantv.com. For KSPN2, I'm Ashley McDowell.
President Donald Trump has approved the CNMI's request for additional disaster assistance funding. This is to help provide relief and recovery assistance from Super Typhoon Yutu. Under the president's order today, federal funds for all categories of public assistance, hazard mitigation, and other needs assistance are authorized at 90% of total eligible costs, and federal funds for debris removal and emergency protective measures are authorized at 100% through the end of April. World Sports is next, but first, weather.
The comfortable, the familiar. Neither one of these will ever give you a new perspective on things or make your heart skip a beat. Comfortable isn't something you'll tell your grandkids about. And familiar? Well, that'll be there when you get home. But until then, there's a world that needs exploring. Getting out of your comfort zone. It's possible in the family of Hyundai SUVs.
What's that? An Alpha Insurance customer needs a claim settled immediately? I'm on it.
Agent Alpha. In the event of an accident, theft, or breakdown, each of our Alpha Insure agents are trained to go above and beyond.
This is my stop. There she is. Target acquired.
Agent Alpha. Yes!
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We'll hear from Roman De La Cruz, who's out in Spain representing Guam in a championship slinging event. But first off, some gymnastics news on the 4 young gymnasts who represented Island Twisters out in Florida. Check it out. Congratulations to the 4 gymnasts from Island Twisters Gymnastics who competed at the Magical Classic Gymnastics competition that was held at the Orlando World Center in Orlando, Florida. Kate Hartley, Maria Calvo, Helena Nuki, and Lauren Lesh represented Guam at this year's event. The competition was a 2-day event that featured 2,000 gymnasts ranging from level 1 to level 10 competing for individual and team trophies. 96 club teams from the U.S. as well as foreign teams abroad took center stage at the meet. 3 out of the 4 Guam gymnasts battled through injuries and limited training in preparation to the competition. Maria Calvo, level 7, had an injury but ended up placing 11th in the all-around. Kate Hartley, level 5, placed 4th on bars and 5th in the all-around. Lauren Lesh, level 5, had a sprained ankle, so she only competed in 2 apparatus events. Helena Nuki, level 5, had her arm in a cast for 4 weeks and had only 2 weeks of preparation time, but ended up competing in all 4 events, taking first on the beam with a 9.375 and 6th place in the all-around. Good luck to Guam's Guelu Rosario and Roman De La Cruz, who are representing the island at a slingstone competition in Ibiza, Menorca, and Mallorca, Spain. Guam will be joining more than 15 other participating countries in the World Championships of Sport Slinging. The slinging sport in the Balearic Islands is more than 40 years old.
This year, they just added on a new leg of competition with 3 days of slinging in Ibiza. The first day of competition, we didn't do too bad yesterday. Starting off with this, I think it's a good start. Today we got to sling with, train some slinging with on some of the local spots with some of the top Ibiza's slingers. Got to visit an unreal beach with an unbelievable amount of stones, and just really sharing culture has been tremendous, and we'll understand that they do have a lot of similarities that we do. They're kind enough to gift us with some of these
artifact. Unggan, benta namin good. Panogit sa muro. Adios.